Sometimes you'll find people in your life who lack representation, the right representation. You'll have a group of guys and they'll talk about one specific guy and when he's not present. And it's like, man, you see what he did this time? Man, if he want the girl, why he ain't just go to the girl? He's so stupid, man. And they're talking about this guy who is usually the one who likes to start a lot of trouble. Now they're sitting here in the room and the guy walks in. When he walks in, everyone gets quiet. And he's wondering, why is everyone quiet? It's because everyone was talking about him. The reason why they were talking about this person was because this person did too much. He did too much. He dresses a certain way specifically to impress other people. He doesn't really have name brand items, but he wears or he flaunts what he does have so that people will draw a good intention towards him. The problem is that he did too much. He does too much talking about people. He does too much game playing. What he really wants to do all day of his life is play video games and to joke about people all day long. This group of friends is growing up. They have to lead stronger lives. They can't be in their childhood forever. The friends are meeting women who are expecting more, so they have to live up to that alignment. They have to realign their lives to become more mature. But yet they still have the same friend who pulls everybody down. The same friend who will find a person who matters to you and try to drag their name through the mud. You have to be careful when you are hanging around certain groups of friends because they can ruin your reputation. You know, I put that song on, should I say that I played, I put the song out there, Michael Jackson, when he was with the Jackson 5, Stop the Love You Save May Be Your Own, okay? That song speaks of this type of behavior. Man-child in the promised land. He's in a promised land. He could be in a promising position. And he could fake it, but he can't fake it for so long because the truth is coming to the light. You might even have a female, an older woman, who does the same thing. She wants to matter, and the person who made her matter is no longer in her life. So now that the person has removed himself because they realized what was going on in the first place, now she wants them to come back. So she tries to make up lies. She tries to do all sorts of things to bring the person back, but the person is not returning. So now she has to try to figure out, you know, she becomes desperate to bring the person back in her environment. Two parties who did not practice self-love are still doing the same things that they did in their childhood. When a person doesn't grow up and they constantly do the same thing, trying to bring focus back to themselves, they do it in a very foolish way because they have no other options or they don't know of any other options. One plays with money. They say, okay, you know what? This person needs money and I stole the money, but I got to bring them back here, so how am I going to do it? I'm going to come up with a story. You see, a long time ago, my mother made this comment. The comment she made was that if you tell so many lies, how are you going to gain the trust of the people in the end? You see, a lot of people play games and a lot of people do a lot of foolish things. And when you become an adult and you play these games, it draws more attention to you and it draws people to move in an opposite direction. When you're a child and do it, they say, okay, he's just a foolish child. If the parents don't sit down and speak to this child and straighten it out, they become a foolish adult who these situations or these circumstances have to be pulled out and have to be taken to a whole nother level, because they have foolishly done so much lying that now they are adults and they're on Front Street. People actually see who these people are, and they don't really want to be around these people. In life, we all play different games, okay? Somebody plays the fool, okay? He plays the fool because he really wants the girl in the end, but he doesn't know how to get the girl. So he plays foolish games and draws the worst attention. A woman, same thing. She played so many games, she did so many things, and she ends up alone, all because she played too many games and too many people got to see her cards. You know, it's like that song, that western song, that country western song. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your cards. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough to count 'em when the game is done. This game is done for two people. An older woman, in fact, no, three people. An older woman, the game is done. A guy who's been fronting for most of his life, the game is done. And for a woman who's been lying and saying that the child belongs to one guy when it belongs to, she doesn't even know who it belongs to. You got too many games being played, too many lives being toiled with. And at the end of the day, God saw it all, and it's all going to be revealed. Did it have to get to this point? Did you have to act in this way? Had you just shown self-love, loved yourself, you wouldn't even be playing such foolish, heinous games in the first place. We, as adults, have got to wake up to the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is, when you love yourself, you don't waste your time on such low vibing things. When you love yourself, you invest in yourself, choosing the right foods, choosing the right drink, and not finding yourself playing cards all hours of the night, not getting that right amount of rest, and not being able to go to work the next day. You hang out with the senior group, senior citizens group, and you try to throw people under the bus by making up stories or making people look smaller than they are because you don't know where you stand. This is what it means when they say you did too much. A man turning his children against each other. He should be at work, but instead he finds himself always turning his children against each other. So then when everything comes out at the end of the day, the kids who are supposed to be grown people are now fighting because a father made the wrong choices, all because of the same foolishness, gossip, game playing. People's lives are at stake. Your grandchildren's lives are at stake. If you ruin the lives of the children, and they have children, now because they are fighting, the grandchildren are now fighting. They don't see eye to eye because of the games that have been played. This is a life that we all have to live. When are we going to come to the conclusion that if you invest in yourself and invest in your family and friends in a good light, this life will be more promising to you? When I say it's so lovely being you, that means you're putting in the investment of loving yourself. When you're loving yourself, it's easier to love others. And it's easier to show those people what love looks like. Love looks like you investing in yourself. Love looks like you loving yourself just that much more, so that you're going to invest in yourself and the people who surround you. You're going to make sure that you're investing in them. But if everyone is always poking fun at each other, and if everyone is always pointing the finger, if everyone is always unhappy instead of investing in being happy, what does it look like? Family reunions are for people to come together, to elevate, to celebrate the ancestors, not to throw people's names under the bus, go into Zoom calls just to make a person's character look bad. Defaming another person's character in a Zoom call when you know that person is not even around, just to get people to go and put the name out there and to start a whole rumor mill and to ruin a person's life. Does it feel good when you do it? There is a lot going on. People's names being thrown under the bus, all because they don't want a person to have a certain position. Again, life cycles tend to go in a certain direction. You can elevate another person's life by just trying to show what love looks like. But if you continue the same childish behaviors, your children watch it and they repeat it. Your grandchildren see it. Hopefully they wake up and see what's going on and they make better choices. Hopefully your children wake up one day and they make better choices. But we do not need the same cycle to continue to circle in so many different directions that it ruins people's lives. Let us begin to learn, to show, to know that real love is not a rumor. Real love is an action. And that action means you begin with yourself, and then that love permeates into a love of all people. It starts with one, gains a few more, and cycles into the best cycle of life. Love yourself. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. It starts with self-love. It is so beautiful when a person learns to love themselves and they begin to invest in others. It's so lovely being you. Be the you that you want to see in this world.